I want to take you to the book of Genesis. I know many of you have been told that that Eve ate an apple in the garden. I hope you're not believing that. I hope you know that that serpent in the garden was Satan. And I hope you know that the sin that was committed was a sexual act. And as a result of that sexual act, Eve became pregnant for the devil, and she also became pregnant for Adam. She gave birth to twins. And God put enmity between the serpent's seed and Eve's seed. And I want to take you to the 3rd chapter of Genesis, and I want you to get into the word, and I want you to stay in the word, because the book of Genesis is important, especially what happened in the garden. It is important to so many other books of the Bible. If you don't understand what happened in the book of Genesis, you're not going to be able to fit the pieces together when you read or study God's word in its entirety, because a lot or the other chapters that follow in God's word are anchored on what happened in the Garden of Eden. I want you to get into the word, and I want you to stay in the word. Listen to God's word and not man's word. And I want to take you to, I want you to read it for yourself, but I want to take you to Genesis 3, and I want you to read 7. So after Eve was beguiled by Satan and she partook of that fruit, she actually engaged in a sexual act with Satan. Then in 7, and then she shared it with her husband as well. And then in 7, their eyes were both opened and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. They knew that they were naked in Genesis chapter 2:25, but they were not ashamed, because that was a natural nakedness. Now here, when they committed this sexual act, they knew they were naked and they were ashamed, because they went against God's commandment, and now their eyes were opened and they realized what they did, and they sewed fig leaves to cover themselves. So they were in a fig grove. That's how